Okay, guys, and we're fresh off the unified cruiserweight world title fight that happened on the Jake Paul v Chavez Jr. undercard. It was Zurdo Ramirez against Dorticos. Now, this was a fight where Zurdo Ramirez started pretty slowly, in my opinion, and Dorticos was looking good for the first half of the fight. But Dorticos seemed to, throw a lot of low blows, really wanting to low blow Ramirez for some reason. So I was throwing a lot of those, and then I think it was in the 7th round he got a point taken away, and it basically felt the second half of the fight, it was almost like a fight of two halves, where the second half of the fight, where Zurdo probably felt that the fight was probably getting away from him, and to be fair, it was, and he started to switch on, throw more shots, and then, throughout the fight, Zurdo was doing the cleaner work, right? Even when Dorticos was throwing more volume, Zurdo was throwing the big shots that would snap his head back. He would do that throughout the fight. And I think just later on in the fight, he just found his rhythm more, found his pace, found his distance, and was just landing at will. That being said, it wasn't an easy fight for him. Dorticos took it to him, and particularly early on in the fight, he was putting his hands together, pressurising Zurdo, putting him on the back foot. And Dorticos was showing, why he's been near the top of the division for a while. Of course, Dorticos, he's coming off back-to-back losses to Jai Opetaia, and he's not been active between those losses. He had those two losses, and they were a few years from each other, I believe. And Dorticos looked to sort of run out of steam by the end of the fight, and Zurdo really took over, and then Zurdo won the fight. But that being said, Zurdo's the unified world champion. He's got 2 belts now. I'm hearing he got a huge payday for this fight, so I'm thinking, probably what a lot of people are thinking is he going to fight Jai Opetaia next? I'm thinking, if he's just got paid, I'm hearing he got paid over $1 million to fight Dorticos. If I'm him, if I can make $1 million fighting someone other than Jai Opetaia, I'm going to do that. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to do that. I'm not fighting Jai Opetaia if I don't have to, right? And particularly Zurdo, he's very hittable. He's very hittable, and we saw that Dorticos was landing a lot of shots to him all throughout the fight. Even when Ramirez was winning rounds, it's not like he was putting on a defensive masterclass. He's not that style of fighter, to be fair. He is the traditional Mexican pressure style fighter. He's not going to beat you on a defensive masterclass. He's going to beat you by pressuring you, throwing combos, throwing shots to your body, throwing shots to your head, and pulverizing you. Is that pummeling? What's the word? Pummeling you. Yeah, pummeling you over the course of, a number of rounds. But yeah, Zurdo Ramirez, unified, he's not undefeated, actually. He has lost before. He lost to Bivol, so he's not undefeated. But he's a unified champion. He looks a bit chubby at cruiserweight, to be honest. But I guess cruiserweight's a weird sort of division, If you weigh 200 pounds and you're a grown man, you're going to be a bit... Do you know what I mean? These guys, they're not going to be ripped, right? So Zurdo looks like he's got a bit of meat to him. Like I said, I think he's far, far, far too hittable to beat a guy like Jai Opetaia. And Jai just lands at will for however long he wants. Jai, we've seen him go the distance. That being said, he wouldn't have fought someone like Zurdo, who's going to put the pressure on like Zurdo, going to throw those sorts of punches in those sorts of bunches and be able to take a shot as well. But we'll see. I think that's probably it's got to be the next fight. Surely. That huge unification bout, that's got to be the next fight. But we'll see what's next for both guys. I imagine, Dorticos, he's coming off 3 losses in a row now. That might be it for him. He's no spring chicken from what I remember. And obviously a decent... he's had long layoffs between those fights. And he's had a pretty long layoff between this fight as well. So maybe that's it for Dorticos. But we'll see. And we'll see what's next for Zurdo as well. Got to be the Jai fight though, but it's boxing and stranger things have happened. But yeah, another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.